Okay. I think I am live on all. Ow. My toenail too long. But I think I am live on all. I might actually come down today. I like it up here, but I feel like I want to get down. Okay. Yeah, I think I like it here for right now. If everybody's just joining in, I'm just getting the technicalities out of the way. And I feel like I want to be close with this word for some reason. Make sure I get every, let's see. I'm just adjusting things, y'all. Hopefully I don't mess stuff up. Yeah, boom. Let's get it together. Okay. Like that. I think we're good. I think we got the gist of it. Y'all ready to rock and roll? I feel like I'm a little too close to Facebook. Let me push y'all back. I got 3 channels right now, y'all. I got Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok going because I want to make sure I hit everybody all at once. Okay, so the word of the day is going to be the wilderness and how we're coming out of the wilderness. I have a funny story. So yesterday I spent time and I wrote this 4-page sermon front and back, and I got home and I have absolutely no idea where it's at. It was in the car. From work to home, I have no idea where it's at. And I was sitting with God and I was like, it's so funny because someone asked me to practice on them because they wanted to hear the actual word of what I was going to do. And so I read it verbatim to them. So it's in my head. So when I woke up this morning, I went to redoing what was lost. But it's so funny that 4 pages of notes just vanished out of thin air and it's nowhere to be found. I don't know where it's at. Don't know. Anyway. I feel like Facebook is all in my face. Okay, so anyway, I want to give you guys what I had got. We're going to start off in the book of John. That's where we're going to begin our journey, and that's where we're going to begin it. Let's get it. So I'm going to read a little bit of John, and then I'm going to jump over to Revelations. Don't be afraid of Revelations. It is not scary. It is literally what it means. A revelation. It reveals to you the unhidden things, the things that we need to know, especially about ourselves. So when we get to Revelations, don't think, oh, the end of time, destruction. I mean, if you want to be scared, go to Isaiah, because he tell you everything. He has no mercy. Revelations is just nothing compared to Isaiah. So I want to go to John 1. But first I want to give you the title. And the title is The Next Step is Blessings. Your land of milk and honey awaits. That's what the title is. The next step is blessings. Your land of milk and honey awaits. So we get to John 1. I'm going to read 1 through 11. John 1, 1 through 11. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was what was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness do not comprehend it. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. This man came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all through him might believe. He was not the light, but was sent to bear witness of the light. That was the true light, which gives light to every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. So now they're just introducing John, and then they're talking about Jesus and how God made all things possible and how God created everything. But I find it funny that the world did not recognize him. That darkness doesn't recognize light until light has to go in and show them that it's always been a light. That there's always been a light dwelling in the deep. There's always light in dark places. You just have to be the light. I say to you today, are you ready to be the light in dark spaces? Being the light is going to illuminate some dark things, some dark truths that has to come to pass, some hidden agendas that has to come to pass. When you're carrying this torch that God is giving you, not a lot of people are going to like you, and not a lot of people are going to receive you, because wherever you walk through, demons have to bow. Demons have to bow. They have to tremble at the mention of Jesus' name, at the mention of you walking into the building, because you bear witness to Jesus himself. Being a light in a dark place is not an easy thing. John the Baptist came before Jesus came, like 6 months. They were 6 months apart, give or take. And he came before, and everybody thought he was a Messiah, but he quickly shut them up and said, no, I am not the Messiah. I am not worthy to lace his shoes. But everybody gravitated to John in the wilderness, and John was a wild man, eating wild locusts and honey, wearing camel's clothes. John didn't care for the material things. What they say, wealth is silence. And you know, it's just a silence that comes with a certain type of money. When you get to a certain type of caliber, you're not trying to be flashy. That wasn't John. He didn't come to look the part. He came to do the part. He came to set the captives free, to baptize them. And he was saying, I'm not even worthy to do what I'm doing right now, because it was bigger than him. And he said that he was there for the one that was crying out in the wilderness. If we go down in 23, John 1:23, he says, I am the voice of the one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of the Lord. As the prophet Isaiah says. He says, I'm just the one out here in the wilderness. He says, I'm just the one out here for the voice in the wilderness. He's crying out. And the reason why this and Revelation are going to correlate together is because where was Jesus? He says, he's the voice for the one in the wilderness crying out. Where was Jesus? It gives it right here. It gives it to us verbatim. He was in the wilderness crying out. And I want to go over to Revelations in a minute, because I'm going to make that make sense, because you're like, what do you mean Jesus was in the wilderness crying out? I'm going to give you a backdrop on how he was born and how he got here. We know about Mary. We know about that story. But did you know about Revelations 12? Because we're talking about two comings, and we're going to get it. We're going to make it all come together. But John says, I am the one that's paving the way for the one in the wilderness crying out. See, we think about the wilderness as something bad, but I'm going to break it down for you in a second. I'm not going to jump, because I really don't have my notes. I wrote a little bit this morning, and I don't want to get off topic. I want to come over to some instructions. Let me read a little bit of this. There are some instructions in 43, John 1:43. There were some instructions Jesus was giving to Philip. And there were some instructions that God is going to give to you. Because whenever you're about to rise, there is some instructions. And even if you don't know that you're about to rise, there are still some instructions that has to come along with the blessing. So in John 1:43, we're entering a conversation. And Jesus is talking with the disciples. And in 43, he says, following the day Jesus went to Galilee, he found Philip, and he said to him, follow me. Follow me. Just simple instructions. See, we're thinking it's going to be this big thing. Go down the road, do this, jump 3 times, whatever. It's simple instructions that God gives. The words was simply, follow me. How many of you guys are ready to follow God wherever he takes you, no matter what it looks like? If God was to say to you today, come on, what would you have to say? Will you be like, I got to do this, and this first, or I have to do this, and this first, or God, are you sure? What does this entail? Because I got to come back by this certain time. Or are you going to simply pick up your bags and follow him? Or are you simply going to pick up your bags and follow him? Matter of fact, if he come to me today, I don't even need a bag, because honestly, you will be the bag. because he provides every single thing. So you're not going to miss anything. Material things can always be replaced quickly. God is going to give you a set of instructions. And it could be as simple as follow me. Now, we should be following God every single day anyway. But in this instance, it's a certain kind of power that's going to come when you follow God in this capacity. Let me let you in, because now we're hearing Philip talking to Jesus, and Jesus is telling him to follow me. Now, Philip is about to talk to somebody when they get into the land of Nazareth. Because remember, can anything good come from Nazareth? So here's a conversation. 46. John 41:46. It says, and Nathanael said to him, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Philip said to him, come and see. Come and see. Let me sit this down for a second. Philip simply said to him, come and see. See, there were some instructions that Jesus gave to Philip. Now, Philip is now the instructor. They're talking about Jesus, and they're like, who is this? This, and that. Like, Nazareth? What is Nazareth? Can any good thing come out of Nazareth? So Philip then gives them the same instructions. He says, come and see. Come and see. It's just like, follow me. You talking all that talk. You talking about, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Then open up your eyes and follow me. Come and see. Everybody is talking about you. Where you come from. They looking down on you. They looking at your circumstances. And they saying that God doesn't dwell with you because you're in this place and it's poor and it's ghetto and it's in ruins. But God is going to tell some people to come and see. Come and see. Come and look at the goodness that happens here. Come and look at the goodness. People are about to look at you in a whole different retrospect now, because they thought that nothing good can come from a place that you come from. I come from the projects. I come from nothing, rats and roaches. And everyone says, can anything good come out of the projects? A project baby like you, can anything come good out of there? Can anything come good? Move, I'm preaching. Can anything good come from there? Absolutely. You are the good that can come from there. God will leave 99 and come for the one. Are you the one that God is getting ready to break heaven and hell for, to come and rescue you? Because God says, I will rescue you again and again and again and again. You don't know who you are, but God does. And he's saying, yes, good things can come from a place called Nazareth. Good things can come from a woman that was a virgin and all of a sudden got pregnant, and her husband looked like where you get this baby from, but they still raise this baby. And then Pharaoh comes to try to kill this baby, and everybody's hiding this baby. Good things can come from you. A teenage mom, a dope boy, a crackhead, a nobody, a drunkard, a whoremonger, whatever it is, good things can come. What you want?
Oh, can I go over there?
Where's Joseph?
Over there.
Follow your brother. Good things can come.
I got my phone on you.
Go up, Mr. Tony. Ask him. I'm busy. You're not going over there by yourself. Not in no cemetery. Go. That's what's back there.
Oh.
Good things can happen to you. Good things can happen. Understand that it don't matter where you come from. It's about where you going to. So if they talking about where you are now, tell them, get ready, buckle up, buttercup, because your future is bigger than where you are now. So even though they see you in lack, even though they see you in bondage, understand that your now isn't your present and your future. God is saying that your future is bigger than your now. So tell them to buckle up, because your story is just getting started. God is just writing your story. He ain't done with you yet. So if they saw you at your bottom, tell them, get ready to see you at the top. And at the top can be today down, tomorrow blessed. Today a janitor, tomorrow a CEO. Today working for $9.50, tomorrow being a multimillionaire. They don't determine your future. They would love to. They would love to. But they don't determine your future. Man does not tell you what you're going to do, because God is not a respecter of persons. So he's not looking to them for the answer. He's not looking for them to rally together and get to some churches and courthouses and vote somebody in. This isn't a democracy. This is a God thing. God don't need the opinions of man, because people are really good at hiding what's in their closet and projecting what they do unto you. People love to project what they do unto you. They love it. Last week, somebody wrote me and said, oh, your cut and your leg was too high. I was concentrating on your thigh. Projection. Get the lustful spirit out of you. People love to project what they feel on you because they're hiding how they feel. And they're hiding who they are. Don't you allow people to projectile vomit on you. If your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. Pluck it out. Get the message. Get the message. God didn't say what the messenger was going to look like. He says, get the message. Get the message. That's it. That's all. Get the message. Don't be so worried about what they doing over there that you're not getting the message. Because he ain't say who he was going to send the messenger as. He said, I'm going to send you the message. Are you having eyes to see and ears to hear? Or are you too busy looking at a thigh that you can't get the message? Come on, somebody. I'm going to run over to Revelations 12, and we're going to make John and Revelations go together. We're going to make John and Revelations go together. John the Baptist told them that he was the one sent for the one in the wilderness crying, to pave the way and make the way straight for him. Who was the one in the wilderness? I'll tell you in just a second. In Revelations 12, God told me to title this, You're About to Give Birth. You are about to give birth. So I want to come over to Revelations, and I want to be in chapter 12, and I want to start off about this woman. I'm going to give you a little description. There's this woman, and she's about to give birth, and they describe her in a certain manner. In the first verse, it says, Now a great sign appeared in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun and with the moon under her feet, and on her head a garland of 12 stars. Beautiful woman. She got the sun at her, she got the moon glowing from her, and she got the stars on her. What does that sound like? Sounds kind of like a universe. It sounds like, she just that girl. It sounds like she that girl. She got the sun bowing, the moon bowing, and she carrying the stars on her head. No need to be a celebrity when you carrying them inside of you. This woman was a beautiful woman. She had power in her. In her, she held both the sun and the moon as lights, and she carried a light on top of her head, 12 of them. This woman was a powerful being. But let's get into this. It says, Then, being with child, she cried out in labor pains to give birth. She cried out. Someone say, I'm about to give birth. Can someone yell out, wherever you are, I'm about to give birth? Don't let this miss you because you're trying to be cute. Ain't no cute right now. I'm out here in some jeans and tennis shoes. It ain't the time to be cute. Get ready to birth something out. When you get into the birth room, you don't care what you look like. You ain't got no full face of makeup on. You out there trying to get this baby out. Does somebody need to get this baby out? Somebody has been in labor for more than 9 months, and it is time to push this baby out. You've been birthing something for 3 years. You've been birthing something for 4 years, 10 years. You've been birthing, and the labor pains are getting too big. When are you going to birth this baby out? You've been writing a book for too long. You've been writing a business plan for too long, trying to be an entrepreneur for too long. When are you going to birth it out? When are you going to birth it out? I know the pain of carrying a baby. I know the pain of birthing them out. I know the pain. But as soon as it's over, you get to look at your blessings. You get to look at everything you went through, and you forget about the pain. After you birth this baby out, you got to birth this thing out. You got to birth this thing out. No one said it's going to be easy. You got to birth this thing out. No one ever told you it's going to be easy. You got to birth this thing out. You want to be an entrepreneur. Good. Build a business. Grind with 2 customers. Grind with 1 customer. Grind with the family. Whatever you got to do, advertise, market. Get yourself out there. Be in the wilderness preaching to nobody but everybody online with no audience. You got to birth this thing out. You got to birth it out. Because if you can't, then someone else will. You always work for somebody if you don't birth your dream out. If you don't birth your vision out. I'm in the wilderness. I ain't talking to nobody but y'all online. Ain't nobody out here but my kids. When you hungry, you gotta go get it. When you hungry, you gotta go get it. It's a different kind of move when you want something and you go after it. And it might look empty at first, but God will start bringing them people to you so you can start giving birth to those dreams and those visions. You ready to eat? Let's go. 4, Revelations 12:4. It talks about the dragon. So as this woman is about to give birth, there's this dragon that appears. There's always a dragon in your life when you're about to do something big, when you're about to embark on a new journey, when you're about to be in a relationship, even with a marriage. It's funny how they put in there, does anybody have something to say or forever hold your peace? One, why are you going to invite the devil up in here? Because the devil always got something to say. He always trying to rear his ugly head. He always trying to come out and be seen at the wrong times. So the devil is always trying to be there when you're in the birthing room, when you're walking down the aisle, when you're in the literal birthing room itself. You got to put people out. There's only certain people that can come in because they will try to destroy you. So right now we're getting introduction to this dragon that is coming while this woman is trying to give birth. Have anybody ever felt any adversities when they're trying to do something, when they're trying to do right? You're trying to stop smoking, you're trying to stop drinking, and all of a sudden everybody coming over there with a 6-pack, with a blunt. They're trying to come over there, I'm talking with the whole works. You trying to be faithful to your woman. All of a sudden your homeboy pull up with them baddies. Like, whenever you're on the right path, the devil is going to come and say, look over here. Forget those blessings. Remember, you wanted that thing with the what? You know, she right out there. I got her. They want you to throw in the towel. They want you to give it in. They want that. But that's not what we're not going to play in the hands of the devil. In 4 it says, and the dragon stood over the woman who was ready to give birth, to devour her children as soon as it was born. She bore a male child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God. And what was caught up to? God and his throne. The woman fled into the wilderness where she has a place prepared by God that they should feed her for 1,260 days. So God had prepared this place for this woman. So she's in the wilderness now. She was about to before she was in the wilderness, she was about to give birth. Here comes the dragon, knowing that this baby was about to be born. So now the dragon is standing in front of her like, oh, I'm a big bad dragon. Anybody have any big bad dragons in their lives? Like, there's always a big bad dragon, whether it's a mama not agreeing with you, whether it's a brother, cousin, aunt, job, whatever it might be. We could all think of a dragon that be big. And anytime you have anything positive to say, here comes that dragon, roar, 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 I'm here. I'm about to destroy everything. Does anybody have any oppositions or ops that will literally try to destroy you anytime you have a vision, a dream, an idea? They try to take it before it's even birthed. You got those negative Nancys that always got something. You sure? Did God really tell you that? Did you? You always got those kind, right? That always got something to say. They always got something to say when you're about to elevate. But when it's on the shoe on the other foot and they try to do something, you always a biggest cheerleader, like you can do anything. You can do anything. But the dragon comes to devour. I've never seen a friendly dragon. I know we got that my pet dragon. This is that. We ain't got them. The devil is nothing friendly. There's nothing friendly about the devil. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That is what the devil does. So at this moment, this woman is in there and she's birthing out her baby. Her baby is already called to rule. He's going to be a strong baby. An empire is about to come out of him. A nation is about to come out of him. He's about to rule with the iron fist. Like, he's about to be a powerful being, right? But who is her baby? Who came to save? Okay. There's no names in this, but I gather that it was Jesus and he was being birthed. That's what I gather. But anyway, The dragon is sitting there, and I think the dragon is the devil. They do call him Satan, which is true. And he's sitting there and he's waiting for her to give birth. She indeed does give birth. But when she gave birth, where did she go? In Revelations 4, it talks about where she went. She then went into the wilderness. And I love when I hear the wilderness for her, because the wilderness was already prepared for her. It said that God had already prepared a wilderness for her, preparation for her. When we think about the wilderness, we think about the Israelites and how they were in there forever. But the wilderness has a time limit. Even the Israelites had a time limit. But if you don't change your stinking thinking, your wilderness will be forever. You can die in the wilderness if you don't change your slave mentality. If you don't change your victim mentality. God specifically put the Israelites there when they came out of Egypt, because the Egyptians were coming, and he said, the Egyptians you see today, you will no longer see. In Exodus 14, when they crossed the Red Sea and they walked through on miracles, and God made sure every last Egyptian got into the water so their enemies will be drowned and won't come after them anymore as they went into the wilderness that was prepared for them. God already had manna provided for them. God already had the fire by night and the clouds by day for them. God had already prepared it. Do you see the preparation that God is doing in your life? Even if you look at your life right now, where you are right now is prepared by God. Nothing is going to take you out, even when it tried, even when you tried. You're not going to miss the mark, because God says, I prepared it for you. It says 1,260 days, which is 3.5 years, that was planned for her to be there and her baby to be in protection. So her baby would be 3.5 years old when it's time to come out of the wilderness. When it's time to come out of the wilderness. We make the wilderness a journey. When the wilderness is a protection. It's like a secret service place. You know how they put you in protective custody? That's where God takes us. When he whooshes us off into the wilderness, it's because lions, tigers, and bears are trying to get us on every avenue. And we don't know the danger that is present. Because sometimes we want what we want, and we want it now. Sometimes we want what we want, and we want it now. And God is like, I can't give it to you right now. I can't give it to you right now because you don't know the danger that is lurking in the dark. So I have to pull you away for a second, because the devil is looming and he wants to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what he does best. He steals, he kills, and he destroys. Whether it's literally, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's mentally. The devil has no limits because he has no honor. He has no honor. I want to go a little bit more. I want to give a little bit more really quick before I jump off. I know I'm going a little long. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up. I love to give scripture because there's too many people I love to give scripture. Let's get it. 13 and 14. It says, Revelations 12, 13, 14. Now when the dragon saw that he had been cast to earth, he persecuted the woman who gave birth to the male child. But the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness to her place, where she would be nourished for a time and a half from the presence of the serpent. So the serpent spewed water out of his mouth like a flood after the woman, that he may cause her to be carried away by the flood. But the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up its mouth and swallowed the flood which the dragon had spewed out of his mouth. And the dragon was enraged with the woman, and he went to make war with the rest of her offspring, who keeps the commandments of God and who has testimony of Jesus. So we get here, right? The dragon is pursuing the woman. One, God cast the dragon down. So now the dragon is mad that it is in earth. And so now he's coming after the woman when he see her. So he's running after her, and he's spewing stuff at her. But the earth is protecting this woman as she's flying off to the wilderness. She had a set of wings that God had given her. The wings were one set of eagle wings. So she had a huge wingspan on her. She had a huge wingspan on her that spread out like eagle wings. Not even like, it spread out as eagle wings. Somebody needs to say that I'm getting my wings. No, I'm getting my eagle wings. Because it's a certain wingspan that an eagle does that no other bird can do. The devil is mad at her. So now he is declaring war against her offspring because he couldn't get to her. She had an offspring that wasn't just that baby that she had. She had other descendants. She had other ones. And the devil says, well, since I can't get you, I'll get everything that's attached to you. I'll get everything that is attached to you. Have you been going through hell on earth since you were born? Have you been fighting adversities since you were born? Has it seemed like life has just beaten you down? And every time you get a second win, you got to get up and square up with the devil again. You just got to get out there and get in the paint with the devil again. Because every time you turn around, you fight and fight and fight. And what Celie said in Color Purple, all my life I had to fight. And that is a literal statement on your life. All your life you had to fight. Whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's spiritual, whether it's just going back and forth with somebody, you know how to rebuttal real good because you had to defend yourself over and over and over again. Lies being told, people turning on you. I'm talking about making up outlandish things. You just log in there to see what people got to say about you today because you don't even know what they're going to say. All your life you had to fight. And it's because the devil has declared war against you. Because you are the offspring of Jesus Christ himself. You are the offspring of God above. So the devil says, since I can't get to him, I'm going to run it up with you. But here's the kicker with you. You ain't never been afraid of a fight. You ain't never backed down from a fight. And that's what the devil cannot stand because he keeps kicking you and you keep getting up. Bloody lip, bloody eye. You just keep getting up. Second win. I'm not going to lay down here. I'm not going to die here. I will not die here today. I'm going to get back up over and over and over again. I don't care if I lose some. I don't care. I'm going to win one of these wars because I'm not dying here, devil. I'm not dying here. I know that you came to take the house. I know you came to take the kids. I know you came to take the job. I know you came to take everything. I know I got $2 if I even got that. I might got 2 quarters if I don't lose those. But I am not giving up. I will not die here. I will not die here. I will not die here. What you thought was a burial, devil, you're going to see my resurrection. I know that you've been attacking me because who I'm connected to. But also in the same thing, in the same word, it says after you suffered. Come on, somebody. After you suffered, God getting ready to come in. There's about to be an after this. There's about to be an after this. And everybody go wonder where you come from because the last thing they saw you with a bloody lip, black eye, bruised, can't breathe. They saw you with nothing. They saw you homeless. They saw you addicted. That's the last thing they saw. That's it. But God is saying, surprise. God is saying, surprise. God is saying, surprise. The last thing they saw was you weak, was you bloody, was you bruised. The last thing they saw was you being a nobody, being laughed at. The last thing they saw was you being on dope. The last thing they saw was you being on crack. The last thing they saw was you being an alcoholic. The last thing they saw was you being homeless and all your stuff being put on the side of the road. Everything that you worked your whole life for being put on the side of the road. The last time they saw you. Surprise. 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 God getting ready to bring you back. God getting ready to bring you back. God is going to restore everything that was taken from you just like that. Just like that. Because God saw what the devil been doing in the dark. God saw what the devil has been doing in the dark. And God says, let there be light. Come on, somebody. Let there be light on the situation. You're vindicated. And God is getting ready to surprise everybody that talked about you like you was nothing. They watched how you lost over and over and over again. But now they're about to see you win. You're about to be the biggest winner of this season, because God is saying surprise. And don't even answer the questions. Don't even answer the questions, because the devil wants answers. But you're not about to give it to him. All you're going to hear is surprise. Everything in life has a time limit. You're coming out of your wilderness, and you're coming out with the wingspan of eagles, and you're coming out refreshed and renewed. Shout wherever you are, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. You have no other option. What, you want to stay there? You want to stay there? Or do you want to come out? I'm coming out. I'm coming out. And I'm coming out with everything that was taken from me. And some. And some. I'm coming out. You made it through some of the toughest seasons of your life. Now, my loves, you're coming out. Your land of milk and honey awaits. Are you ready to eat? This is your season. Welcome home. All right, y'all. Until next Sunday. I love y'all. And I hope that this message was a blessing for y'all. I hope y'all got what y'all needed to get out of it, because God is about to do something that you've never seen before. And just know that the wilderness always has a time limit. And the devil can't keep deviling. He has to sit down. You're coming out. You're not leaving anything on the table. You're done eating crumbs. You want the full meal. You want the full meal. Who ready to eat? Who ready to eat? Oh, okay. It's time to get it all back. It's time to get it back. It's time now. It's time now. It's time now. If you're ready, tell God you're ready. Because the wilderness season, even me being out here is for a time. Even me being out here preaching to nobody is for a time. It's all for a time. I love my wilderness. It's beautiful. But every beautiful thing has to come to an ending. And God is saying, I'm about to pull you out and put you where you belong. Because this was just for a season. And your elevation is coming. And it's coming in fast. Have a good day, you guys. We're about to go fishing. We're about to go fishing. What you want to say? You want to say bye?
Bye-bye.
Mandy, you want to say bye?
I do.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
What it say? What it say?
Yeah, you can hit that finish. Yep. And then we hit here. And we hit end. And then we hit